Hello everyone and welcome back. My name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com, and these are the market positions for April the 28th, 2010. Now we've got some volatile markets again. We've got stopped out on our Australia-Japan currency pair. With the problems in the Eurozone, they're causing problems throughout the entire markets. Our equities have sold off, our commodities are under pressure, so a number of things happening. I did say that this is going to be a volatile week, and we're certainly seeing that. So what we're going to look at in our first position here for tonight, we're going to be looking at the natural gas futures contracts. Now, looking at natural gas, we've got a good buying opportunity here in my opinion. We're coming out of heavily oversold territory. We've got this predicted TSI from Vantage Point has crossed over to the upside. Now we have this triple EMA crossover that's also getting ready to make its move. Excuse me. So what we're looking at here, we've closed at 421. Now our key levels of support are 421.5, 414.9, and 413.3. Now let's have a quick look at the crossovers. What's happening with these short, medium, and long-term crossovers? The short-term crossover here from Vantage Point, we can see that is clearly crossed to the upside. This has taken place a few days ago. Now, looking at the medium-term crossover, again, a very important indicator from Vantage Point, we can see that that's crossed over to the upside. Now, our final indicator here is going to be our long-term crossover. That's also taken place. So everything looks good here, along with the triple EMA crossover from Vantage Point. The triple EMA crossover, excuse me, along with the predicted true strength indicator is all suggesting that the natural gas contracts are going to move higher. So usually before they move higher, we get a slight pullback. So let's go in, have a look at the daily report from Vantage Point and see what we're looking at for a predicted high and a predicted low for tomorrow. Now again, we're going to see further volatility this week here in not just the equities but in the commodities, as these problems in the Eurozone and Greece persist and actually have spread into Portugal. A number of problems happening here. So 413.2 is our low for tomorrow. Again, we've closed at 421.6. 428.3 is our high. So we've got our neural index has turned negative. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Again, the neural index is a 24-hour indicator. Our predicted short, medium, and long-term differences are all turning positive. We're getting ready for a bigger move in my opinion. So for tomorrow, we're going to be looking at a pullback towards about the 414 area, 415, approximately in that area. Then we're going to have all our stops below that 18-day predicted moving average from Vantage Point. Now again, our target once we get that pullback will be the 428 area. So let's go ahead, have a look at see exactly where we want to put that stop. Now we can see that we have 413.3 as our predicted low from Vantage, or excuse me, as our 18-day predicted moving average. So all stops in this particular case, we're going to have them in about the 390 area, just to be safe. We don't want to get caught up in that intraday market volatility, everything that's going on right now. We want to give ourselves room for this trade to progress. So again, we're going to be entering at the 413, 415 area, and then our stops will be below I would say 390 to be safe, 385. So that's our first position. Now again, our second position, we're going to be looking at the foreign exchange market. Now the Australia-US, again with the risk aversion, everything that's happening in Greece, the equities selling off. Australia-US, I had talked about that in the Forex market outlook for the week, that Australia-US likely to move much lower while below that 94.05 area. So we're just about getting ready to make this triple EMA cross over the 3-day and has crossed over the 8-day and the 18-day predicted moving average. We've got the triple EMA has crossed over to the downside. Now let's go in and have a look at the individual crossovers here and see if they support this further move. We already know the short term has crossed over to the downside, so what we're looking for is that the long-term crossover has taken place. We can see here now that that has taken place, so everything looks good. Let's have a look at the predicted MACD also here from Vantage Point. Predicted MACD also supporting that this thing is going to move lower. The trigger is crossed over. We're still above the zero line, but things look good for, again, this thing moving lower. Now, what we're looking at specifically here with Australia-US, we would like to see a sustained break of the 18-day predicted moving average from Vantage Point, specifically this 92.46 area. So we're going to go in now, we're going to have a look at that predicted high and predicted low for tomorrow. we would like to see a slight move higher to set our short position. Now let's have a look from Vantage Point, see what it's saying for the predicted high and the predicted low. So 92.38, we're going to use a little bit lower than that. We're going to use 92.25 as our entry point. We're then going to look for a move to 91.25. Neural index has turned negative. The predicted short, medium, and long-term differences have all turned negative. Now, the important thing to note here with these short, medium, and long-term differences, 44 is a very nice area because it's not oversold. It's far enough away from the zero line that the trend is going to continue. Now, if we start to see numbers of negative 100, negative 95, negative 120, then that would suggest that it's oversold and it's probably going to bounce. Well, we don't have that here at all, not one bit. So Australia-US clearly has room to extend, in my opinion, much lower. So we would like to see a sustained break, preferably of the 90. We've closed at 91.52, so we would like to see the market close below that again tomorrow. We would like to potentially, if at all possible, we'd like to see it close below the 91 level. Then the shorts would really begin to accelerate. So the range for today has been 92.88, 91.35. That's the predicted high, predicted low, where the market's actually gone. So we're hoping to see this thing gain momentum and start moving considerably lower. Now for our third trade here tonight, we're going to be looking at the E-mini NASDAQ 100 futures contracts. Now again, it's somewhat risky to go long on these equities considering what's going on with Greece and that, but this also represents a buying opportunity. Now looking at the NASDAQ E-mini 100, what I like about this, we can see this long candlestick that's come down, hit the 18-day predicted moving average at 2006.57. So for tomorrow, this NASDAQ 100, in my opinion, much like the S&P 500, the thing with Greece is going to blow by, and that'll be the end of that, and then things should continue on its normal trend. So with that said, we're holding above the 18-day predicted moving average. Granted, not by a lot, but for tomorrow, let's have a look and see what's going on with this E-mini, with the E-mini NASDAQ 100. My opinion is it's going to continue its move higher. We may get a slight pull back a little bit more. So we're looking at 1996.11 is going to be the predicted low from Vantage Point. Our short-term predicted differences have turned negative. However, our medium and long-term are still positive. So the 1996 level is what we're going to be looking at. We're going to say 1999, 1998 is a good entry point. Then we'll be looking for a move towards the 2027 area. Neural index is down, but again, guys, the neural index is a 24-hour index. It's a 24-hour indicator. It's not necessarily something that's going to tell us a trend reversal, because we can see that we had the neural index down for 2 days, but then we had essentially 5 up days. So again, neural index is a very useful indicator, but it is a short-term indicator. Very important to remember that. So those are the market positions, again, for April the 28th, 2010, and my name is Greg Furman, market analyst here at TraderPlanet.com.